Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, your host for today. If you're new here, I'd love to tell you that we upload English learning videos every single day to help you speak more confidently and fluently in real life. In today's masterclass, you'll improve not only your English listening, but also your speaking and conversation skills through real-life English practice. Together, we'll go through natural daily English dialogues, useful expressions, and everyday vocabulary that will help you sound fluent and confident when you speak English in real situations. Whether you're talking with friends, chatting at work, or meeting new people, this lesson will guide you through how to respond naturally, how to continue a conversation smoothly, and how to express your thoughts clearly in English. By the end of this video, you'll be more comfortable speaking in everyday situations, and you'll start feeling that you're on your way to the advanced English level. Before we start the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss a new English learning lesson. So, take a deep breath, relax, and get ready to practice real English conversations with me. Let's begin. Have you ever felt that you understand English when you read it or listen to it slowly? But when you try to speak in a real conversation, your mind suddenly goes blank? It's completely normal. Learning English from books or lessons is one thing, but speaking in real life is another skill altogether. That's why today's session is all about real-life English conversation practice. The kind that prepares you to actually speak with people in real situations. Think about your daily life. You wake up, you meet people, you go to school, work, or a cafe. You talk to someone at a store or answer a question on the phone. These are all moments where you use English naturally. And in this masterclass, I'll walk you through real examples of those moments. We'll practice them slowly, clearly, and naturally together, so that you can build confidence and fluency step by step. Let's start with something simple: daily greetings. In English, greetings are more than just words. They're small social bridges that open every conversation. When you meet someone in the morning, you might say, "Good morning, how are you today?" Or, "Hey, how's it going?" When you're meeting a friend after a long time, you might say, "It's been a while, how have you been?" These are simple, but they create warmth and connection. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. Good morning, how are you today? Good afternoon, how's your day going? It's been a while, how have you been? When you repeat them aloud, imagine that you're really speaking to someone you know. Feel the rhythm of your voice. Don't rush. Let each word come out naturally. In real life, conversations flow like waves. One person speaks, then the other responds. So let's build a small conversation example. A. Hey, how's your day going? B. Pretty good, thanks. How about you? A. I'm doing fine. Just a bit busy with work. B. Yeah, same here. It's been a long week. Now, let's turn this into your practice. I'll say the first line, and you respond in your mind or out loud. Hey, how's your day going? Pause. Then answer naturally. Pretty good, thanks. How about you? Excellent. Keep repeating until it feels easy and automatic. Everyday English conversations are filled with these tiny exchanges. Polite, simple, but powerful. When you get comfortable with them, you don't have to think word by word anymore. Instead, you start responding naturally, like a fluent speaker. Let's move to another common situation, ordering something at a cafe or restaurant. This is one of the most practical ways to practice real English because you can use it almost anywhere in the world. Imagine walking into a cafe. You smile and say, "Hi, can I get a cup of coffee, please?" Or, "Could I have a latte with almond milk?" The polite expressions "can I get" or "could I have" are used all the time by native speakers. Now, repeat after me slowly. Can I get a cup of coffee, please? Could I have a sandwich and a juice? Can I have it to go, please? Notice how these sentences sound soft and polite. That's what makes you sound natural in English. Let's make a small conversation to practice. A. Hi there. What would you like to order? B. Could I get a cup of tea and a slice of cake, please? A. Sure. Would you like milk with your tea? B. Yes, please. Now your turn. I'll be the cafe worker and you'll be the customer. Ready? Hi there. What would you like to order? Excellent. Now say your line naturally. Imagine the tone, the setting, the friendly smile. This kind of visualization helps you remember phrases longer and use them easily later. When you practice these small moments daily, you're training your mind to think directly in English, not to translate from your native language. That's how fluency grows. Another important situation in daily life is asking for help or information. Maybe you're lost in a new city or looking for a store. Here are some natural phrases you can use. Excuse me, could you help me find this place? Sorry, do you know where the nearest bus stop is? Could you tell me how to get to the train station? Let's repeat together slowly. Excuse me, could you help me find this place? Do you know where the supermarket is? Could you tell me how to get to the bus stop? When you ask politely, people are more willing to help you. And you also saim how good manners, which is an important part of real communication. Now, let's do a short conversation example. A. Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the library? B. Sure, go straight, then turn left at the traffic light. A. Thank you so much. B. You're welcome. Now let's switch roles. You be A and I'll answer as B. Ready? Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the library? Sure, go straight, then turn left at the traffic light. Great job. Notice how polite and smooth the tone is. That's what makes your English sound confident and friendly. Let's add one more useful area. Small talk. Short, light conversation topics that help you connect with people easily. Small talk is what people use to start conversations in offices, classes, or even elevators. You might talk about the weather, the weekend, or how your day is going. For example, nice weather today, isn't it? Did you do anything fun over the weekend? I can't believe how busy the city is today. These small lines may look simple, but they open doors to real connections. Let's build a small dialogue together. A. Hi, how are you? B. I'm good, thanks. It's really sunny today, isn't it? Yes, perfect weather for a walk. B. Absolutely. I love days like this. Now, repeat this conversation slowly and try to change it with your own ideas. Instead of sunny, try rainy, or cold, or windy. Practicing variations helps you remember patterns. Remember, English is not just about words. It's about rhythm and feeling. When you speak, think of the flow of your voice like gentle waves. Don't try to speak too fast. Focus on clarity first. Once you're comfortable, your speed will naturally increase with time and confidence. Let's take a short reflection moment together. Think of one real situation where you used English this week. Maybe with a friend, a colleague, or online. How did you feel? Were ye nervous, excited, or shy? It's okay. Every learner feels that way. The secret is to keep practicing small, daily conversations until it feels as natural as breathing. Now, I want you to try this mini exercise. Imagine you're meeting someone new for the first time. You shake hands, smile, and say, "Hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you." The other person says, "Nice to meet you too." "Where are you from?" You answer naturally, "I'm from United States. How about you?" Simple, right? Practice this dialogue a few times every day, even when you're alone, because self-practice builds real confidence over time. When you can start and continue a short conversation like this, you're already moving from beginner to intermediate level. And soon you'll reach advanced fluency if you keep doing it regularly. Take a deep breath, smile, and repeat this after me slowly. I can speak English with confidence. I am improving every day. I am becoming fluent step by step. When you begin practicing real English conversations, one of the best things you can do is imagine yourself in real-world scenes. Picture yourself standing in line at a cafe, or waiting for a bus, or talking to a colleague at work. The more real the situation feels in your mind, the easier it becomes to speak naturally. For example, you can imagine walking into a coffee shop on a quiet morning. The smell of roasted beans fills the air, and you smile at the barista and say, "Good morning, can I get a cappuccino, please?" The barista smiles back and asks, "Would you like it to go?" You respond, "Yes, please. I'm in a bit of a hurry." Just by visualizing this scene, you train your mind to think and respond automatically in English. Now, let's practice a few of those sentences together. Repeat after me slowly, feeling the rhythm of each phrase. "Good morning. Can I get a cappuccino, please?" "Yes, please. I'm in a bit of a hurry. Have a nice day." Every time you repeat simple real-life lines like these, you're building powerful memory connections between situations and words. Later, when you're in a moment in real life, your mind will find those words easily and naturally. Everyday English is full of small, polite expressions that keep a conversation flowing. You'll hear phrases like, "No problem," "Take your time," "That's all right," or "You're welcome," almost everywhere. These are not just filler words. They are the rhythm of human connection. When you use them naturally, you sound kind and confident. Imagine finishing your coffee order, and the barista says, "It'll be ready in a minute." You smile and say, "No rush, take your time." It's such a small phrase, but it makes a huge difference in how people feel around you. Let's move to another situation. Think about being at work or in class. Someone asks for your opinion, and you want to sound polite and clear. You could say, "I think that's a good idea," or, "In my opinion, we could try something different." Notice how phrases like, "I think," or, "In my opinion," soften your tone. They make you sound confident, but respectful. Let's practice. "I think that's a good idea." "In my opinion, we could try something different." "I agree with you completely." These are sentences you'll use in meetings, classrooms, and even friendly discussions. Sometimes, conversations don't go as planned. Maybe you don't understand what someone said. Don't worry. That's a perfect moment to practice natural clarification phrases. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "I didn't catch that. Could you say it again?" Or even, "What do you mean by that?" These questions help you stay in the conversation, and show that you're actively listening. Practice them now. Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? What do you mean by that? The key is to keep your tone friendly and curious, not nervous or apologetic. Let's create another visualization. You're in a busy street, and someone asks you for directions. They say, "Excuse me, do you know where the post office is?" You smile and reply, "Sure, go straight and turn right at the traffic lights." It's a small exchange, but in that moment, you used real English naturally and confidently. You practiced listening, understanding, and responding quickly, exactly what builds fluency. Now imagine the roles reversed. You're the one asking for help. You say, "Excuse me, could you help me find the nearest ATM?" The person responds kindly, "Of course, it's just around the corner." You thank them with a smile and say, "Thank you so much." And they answer, "You're welcome." Each of these lines may seem simple, but together they create real conversation flow. Now, let's practice emotional expression. Real communication isn't only about asking and answering, it's also about sharing feelings. When you're happy, you might say, "I'm so glad to hear that," or "That's amazing." When something surprises you, you might react with, "Really? That's unbelievable." When something disappoints you, you could say, "Oh no, that's too bad." These short, emotional sentences give life to your speech. Repeat them with me. "I'm so glad to hear that." "Really, that's unbelievable." "Oh no, that's too bad." The tone of your voice is just as important as the words themselves. Practice saying them with genuine feeling. Imagine you really mean them. Many learners feel shy about making mistakes in conversation, but mistakes are not your enemy. They are your teachers. Each time you speak English, you're giving yourself the opportunity to grow. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall again and again, but they never give up. And eventually, they run freely. Language learning works the same way. Every small conversation, even if imperfect, brings you closer to fluency. So, next time you talk to someone and forget a word, just smile and use another one. Say something like, "What's the word for?" Or, "I can't remember the exact word, but it's like." This is how real speakers communicate. They find ways to keep talking. Now let's do a mini practice together. Imagine you're at a store buying clothes. The shop assistant smiles and asks if you need help. You respond, "Yes, please, I'm looking for a blue jacket." The assistant shows you one and asks, "Would you like to try it on?" You smile and say, "Sure, where's the fitting room?" After trying it on, you say, "It fits perfectly. I'll take it, please." You've just completed an entire conversation that exists in real life. Practicing this mentally helps your brain connect English to daily experiences. Now picture another moment, meeting a new friend. You start by saying, "Hi, I'm Natasha. It's nice to meet you." They reply, "Nice to meet you too. Where are you from?" You smile and answer, "I'm from Pakistan. How about you?" Then you continue, "Do you live nearby?" "Yes, just a few minutes away." And the conversation keeps going naturally. The rhythm, the pauses, the tone, all of it feels relaxed and real. When you practice conversations like these daily, something magical happens. You stop thinking word by word and start thinking in ideas. Instead of translating, You begin expressing yourself. You feel the message first, and the English words follow naturally. That's the secret to reaching advanced fluency, when your thoughts flow directly into English without effort. Now, let's focus on a short daily routine practice. Imagine it's morning. You wake up, stretch, and say to yourself, "It's a beautiful day. Let's make it productive." You walk to the kitchen and say, "Time for some coffee." You look outside and whisper, "The weather looks nice today." You're not talking to anyone, but you're using English in your mind. That's one of the most powerful techniques for fluency, talking to yourself throughout the day in English. You can describe what you're doing, what you're thinking, or what you plan to do. Say things like, "I need to finish this work," or "I should call my friend later." The more you do this, the more natural English becomes for you. Now, take a small moment to repeat after me slowly. I'm improving every day. I can speak English easily and naturally. My confidence is growing. I enjoy speaking English. These affirmations remind your mind that learning is not a race. It's a journey, one conversation at a time. When you speak to others, always remember that communication is not about perfection. It's about connection. People don't remember every grammar rule you used. They remember how comfortable and kind you sounded, a genuine smile, eye contact, and simple, polite words can make your English unforgettable. So from now on, start noticing opportunities around you. The next time someone greets you, answer with energy. The next time someone asks how your day is going, give a full answer, not just fine. You can say, "It's going pretty well, thank you. I've had a busy morning, but I'm feeling good." Longer responses make conversations more interesting and help you sound fluent. Try this reflection practice. Before you sleep, think back on your day and describe it in English. Say it out loud or record it on your phone. Talk about what you did, how you felt, and what you plan for tomorrow. For example, you might say, "Today as a busy day. I went to work, had a meeting, and learned something new. Tomorrow I'll try to finish my project earlier." Doing this every night for just 5 minutes can dramatically improve your speaking fluency. English fluency isn't built in a classroom. It's built in small daily moments like these. Every greeting, every thank you, every tiny question adds to your experience. Speak more, listen more, and enjoy every step, because every word you say brings you closer to your advanced English goal. When you start practicing conversations more often, you'll notice that English has a natural rhythm, a kind of musical flow that makes it pleasant to listen to. This rhythm isn't about speaking fast, it's about stress and pauses. English speakers naturally stress certain words to show meaning. And if you learn to copy that rhythm, you'll sound more fluent without even memorizing complex vocabulary. For example, when someone says, "What are you doing today?" the stress usually falls on what and doing. What are you doing today? Try saying it that way now. Feel how it flows more easily than saying every word equally. This natural rise and fall in tone gives your speech life and clarity. One of the best ways to develop this rhythm is through shadowing practice, repeating what you hear immediately, as if you're an echo. When you listen to someone speaking and repeat right after them, your mouth learns the sounds and timing naturally. For example, you can listen to slow, clear conversations and repeat along. mimicking the pronunciation, pauses, and melody of the voice. At first, it feels challenging, but after a few days, you'll be amazed at how naturally your mouth begins to produce English sounds. Let's imagine a scene to help you shadow more effectively. You're sitting in a park, enjoying a calm afternoon. A friend sits beside you and says, "It's such a nice day today." You reply, "Yes, it's perfect for a walk." Your friend smiles and says, "I was thinking of going for coffee later. Do you want to join?" You say, "Sure, I'd love to." This short, simple scene contains real English flow, natural questions, polite answers, friendly tone. Practicing scenes like this every day trains you to speak comfortably, just like native speakers. Now, let's practice expressing thoughts and feelings because real-life conversations often involve emotions, happiness, surprise, frustration, excitement. When someone tells you good news, you might say, "That's fantastic," or "I'm so happy for you." When something surprising happens, you might say, "Really? I didn't expect that." And when something goes wrong, you might say, "That's unfortunate," or "I hope it gets better soon." These short expressions add personality and kindness to your speech. Try saying them aloud. "That's fantastic." "Really? I didn't expect that. I hope it gets better soon." The goal is not just to pronounce the words, but to feel them. In daily conversations, we often share our experiences. So let's practice describing small, everyday moments. Imagine you're talking about your morning. You could say, "I woke up early today and made myself some tea. The weather was cool and peaceful, and I felt refreshed." Or imagine you're telling someone about your weekend. "I went shopping with my friends. We had lunch together and laughed a lot. It was a really nice day." Notice how simple these sentences are: short, clear, and emotional. When you describe real moments like this, you don't just practice English, you practice connection. Let's go one step further and practice showing curiosity, one of the most natural parts of any real conversation. When you talk to someone new, you can show interest by asking gentle, open-ended questions like, "What do you do?" Or, "How long have you lived here?" Or, "What kind of music do you like?" These questions keep the conversation alive and make people feel comfortable. Imagine you're meeting a new classmate or a coworker. You ask, "So, how do you usually spend your weekends?" They smile and say, "I love going for long walks and watching movies." You nod and reply, "That sounds relaxing. I usually spend my weekends reading or meeting friends." These small exchanges build real confidence and help you sound natural without pressure. Another key to fluent communication is reacting naturally when someone speaks. In English, people often use small reaction phrases like, "Really? That's great." "Oh, I see. I know what you mean," or "Exactly." These are not full sentences, but they show that you're listening and engaged. For example, if someone says, "I started learning guitar last week," you can respond with, "That's awesome," or "I've always wanted to learn guitar too." These quick reactions keep the conversation alive. Practice them now. "That's awesome." "Really? That's interesting." "Oh, I see." "Exactly." When these words come to your tongue naturally, you'll notice your conversations feel smoother and more relaxed. Let's imagine another everyday situation. Being at the supermarket, you might start by saying, "Excuse me, where can I find the bread section?" The shop worker says, "It's over there next to the dairy products." You smile and say, "Thank you so much." Later, when you're ready to pay, you say, "Can I pay by card?" And the cashier replies, "Yes, of course." You end the interaction with, "Thank you, have a nice day." These are simple sentences, but they're full of practical English. When you imagine such small situations and speak them aloud, your confidence grows naturally. Now let's practice something even more important, talking about yourself. This is a skill every English learner needs because introductions happen everywhere. You can start simply. My name is Natasha, and I'm an English learner. I love reading books, learning new things, and meeting people from different cultures. You can also add details. I started learning English because I want to travel and work with people around the world. Then imagine someone asks, "How long have you been studying English?" And you answer, "I've been learning for about 2 years, and I practice every day." Practicing sentences like these helps you feel ready whenever you meet someone new. To sound fluent when talking about yourself, focus on connected ideas rather than memorized lines. For example, instead of only saying, "I like reading," add more. You can say, "I like reading books about self-improvement because they help me stay motivated." This kind of speaking shows depth and confidence. Repeat this slowly with me. I like reading books about self-improvement because they help me stay motivated. Excellent. Every time you add a reason, your English becomes more natural. One common challenge for many learners is hesitation. You might start a sentence and stop midway because you're unsure of a word. Don't worry about that. Native speakers also pause all the time. The key is to use natural fillers instead of silence. Phrases like, "let me think," "well," "you know," and "actually" help you sound fluent even while you're thinking. For example, if someone asks, "What do you like about your job?" you can say, "Well, I really enjoy meeting new people and learning new things." Notice how "well" gives you a small pause to think. It's not about rushing, it's about speaking smoothly. Let's add a short practice for talking about your daily routine, because that's something everyone can relate to. You can say, "I usually wake up at 7, then I have breakfast, check my messages, and get ready for work." You can continue, "After work, I go for a walk, have dinner, and spend some time watching a show or reading before bed." Try saying it slowly now, imagining each moment of your day. You can also practice describing your weekends. On weekends, I like to relax, meet my friends, and sometimes go to the movies. By practicing like this, you're not just memorizing sentences, you're training your brain to think and speak in English naturally. As you continue learning, remember that confidence comes from repetition. The more you hear yourself speaking English, the less afraid you become of mistakes. That's why self-practice is so powerful. Talk to yourself in English when you're cooking, cleaning, walking, or driving. Describe what you see. Say things like, "The sky looks beautiful today," or "I need to buy some milk later." These tiny moments build the foundation of fluency. Now, take a deep breath and repeat after me slowly. I am confident when I speak English. My mind understands English naturally. I am learning every single day. I enjoy using English in real life. When you affirm these thoughts often, your mindset shifts from fear to confidence. The most beautiful thing about learning a language is that it connects you to people. English gives you a bridge to talk to someone from another country, to understand songs, stories, and ideas from around the world. Every time you practice, you're opening another door of opportunity. So even when you feel tired or unmotivated, Remind yourself of why you started, to grow, to connect, and to express yourself freely. Each time you listen to real conversations and repeat after them, you're rewiring your brain for natural fluency. Every phrase you speak brings you closer to thinking directly in English. You don't need to rush. You can enjoy every step of the journey, one sentence, one conversation, one smile at a time. The more you speak English in real situations, the more you realize that communication isn't about big, complex words. It's about connection. Even simple sentences, when said with warmth and confidence, can make you sound fluent. Imagine walking into a shop and saying, "Hi, how's your day going?" Or asking a friend, "Did you sleep well?" These tiny gestures make conversations feel human, not mechanical. Real English is emotional. It's full of tone, rhythm, and kindness. Let's explore one of the most useful parts of daily English, talking about your plans. People often ask, "What are you doing this weekend?" Or, "Do you have any plans for tonight?" You can answer naturally by saying, "I'm going to meet some friends," or "I'm planning to stay at home and relax." Try repeating after me slowly. I'm going to meet some friends. I'm planning to stay at home and relax. I'm thinking of watching a movie tonight. These sentences sound simple, but they are used all the time in everyday English. When you talk about plans, you can also ask follow-up questions to keep the conversation alive. You could say, "What about you?" Or, "Do you have any plans?" Or, "That sounds fun. Where are you going?" These little responses show interest and help you sound friendly and fluent. Let's put it into a natural flow in your mind. You ask someone how their weekend will be. They say, "I might visit my family." You smile and reply, "That's nice. I haven't seen my family in a while either." The exchange feels warm, natural, and connected. That's what real-life English is about. Not perfect grammar, but real emotion and curiosity. Now, let's practice another situation, talking about the weather. It might seem unimportant, but small talk about weather is one of the most common ways English speakers start a conversation. You could say, "It's really hot today," or "I can't believe how cold it is to his week." You could also use emotional expressions like, "I love this kind of weather," or "I miss sunny days like this." Try repeating a few lines slowly. "It's really hot today." "I can't believe how cold it is this week." "I love this kind of weather." Small talk like this helps you connect with people and also gives you time to feel comfortable before moving to deeper topics. Let's move into something more personal, talking about feelings and emotions. Being able to express how you feel is a big part of fluent communication. When you feel happy, you can say, "I'm really happy today," or "I'm feeling great." When you're tired, you might say, "I'm a bit exhausted," or "I didn't sleep well last night." When something bothers you, you can say, "I'm a little stressed," or "I feel a bit nervous." Saying how you feel makes conversations more honest and human. Let's practice this gently together. "I'm feeling happy today." "I'm a little tired, but I'm okay." "I'm so excited about tomorrow." "I feel calm and peaceful right now." You can also ask others about their feelings. Try saying, "How are you feeling today?" Or, "Are you doing all right?" Or, "You seem happy. What happened?" These kinds of questions show that you care and that you're present in the moment. Remember, fluent communication is about both speaking and listening. Now let's imagine you're talking with a friend about your day. You could say something like, "Today was a long day, but I learned a lot." Or maybe, "I had a busy morning, but I'm glad it's finally over." Then you might ask your friend, "How was your day?" And they might reply, "It was good, but I'm tired." These simple exchanges create real bonds and give you more confidence to express yourself. Let's focus on expressing opinions, because it's an important skill in real conversations. You can start with phrases like, "I think," or "in my opinion," or these help you share your thoughts politely. For example, "I think learning English through conversations is the best way." Or, "In my opinion, daily practice is more helpful than memorizing rules." You can also agree or disagree politely by saying, "I agree with you," or "I see your point, but I think differently." Practice these slowly now. "I think that's true." "In my opinion, daily practice is important." "I see your point, but I think differently." Learning to express opinions politely helps you sound mature and fluent. Instead of short answers like yes or no, try expanding a little. For example, when someone asks, "Do you like reading?" Instead of saying yes, you can say, "Yes, I love reading books, especially in the evening." That small addition makes your answer sound natural and conversational. Let's now explore asking questions politely, because in real life, the way you ask something makes a huge difference. Instead of saying, "Where is the bathroom?" you can say, "Excuse me, could you tell me where the bathroom is?" It sounds softer and more polite. Instead of saying, "What's your name?" you could say, "May I ask your name?" Practice with me slowly. "Excuse me, could you tell me where the bus stop is?" "May I ask your name?" "Could you please help me with this?" Politeness makes your English sound warm and confident at the same time. It's something that English speakers appreciate a lot. When you use words like please, thank you, and sorry naturally, people feel comfortable around you. Let's practice a few quick sentences. Please take your time. Thank you for your help. I'm sorry about that. You're welcome. Don't worry. When these small phrases come out automatically, you'll feel more relaxed and fluent in any setting. Let's move to another daily life moment, talking about hobbies and interests. When you meet someone new, this is one of the easiest and most natural topics to discuss. You can say, "I like listening to music," or "I enjoy cooking in my free time." You can also ask, "What do you like to do for fun?" Or, "Do you enjoy reading?" Try repeating a few slowly now. "I like listening to music." "I enjoy cooking in my free time." "What do you like to do for fun?" These small questions help you build friendly and open conversations. Imagine you're talking with someone who says, "I love watching movies." You can respond naturally with, "Really? What kind of movies do you like?" They say, "Mostly comedies." You smile and say, "Same here. I love funny movies." See how natural that flow feels? That's what we're building. Effortless, everyday connection through English. Fluency isn't about using big vocabulary. It's about using the right words naturally. A fluent speaker doesn't think too much before speaking. They just use the language that feels comfortable. So when you practice, don't worry about sounding advanced. Focus on sounding natural. You can start simple. And as your confidence grows, Your vocabulary will naturally expand. Now let's add a small real-life practice task you can do every day. Choose one topic. It can be your morning, your weekend, or your favorite food, and record yourself talking about it for 1 minute in English. Don't write a script. Just speak freely. Listen to your recording and notice how you sound. You'll hear where you pause, where you hesitate, and where your sentences flow well. Do this every day for a week. You'll notice a huge improvement in your rhythm and pronunciation. Also, when you listen to English speakers, in movies, podcasts, or conversations, pay attention to their tone and intonation. Try to copy the melody of how they speak. If someone says, "That's a good idea," notice how their voice rises at the end. Try to repeat it the same way. This is how you learn the music of English. Finally, remember that speaking English is not about perfection, it's about practice and patience. Every time you use the language, even for a few minutes, you're getting closer to your goal. You're training your brain to think, feel, and respond in English. So take a deep breath, smile, and tell yourself, "I'm doing great. I'm improving every day," because you are, every single time you practice. When you start feeling more confident in simple conversations, it's time to take your English a little deeper. Real communication often includes explaining things, giving opinions, or telling short stories from your own life. Storytelling is one of the best ways to practice English naturally, because it combines memory, emotion, and vocabulary all together. Let's imagine you're talking with a friend who asks how your week has been. Instead of answering with one sentence, expand your answer into a short story. You could say, "It's been quite busy, actually. I had a few deadlines at work, but I managed to finish everything on time. Yesterday, I went out with a friend for dinner, and it was really nice to relax after a long week." Simple stories like this make your English sound real, not robotic. Try repeating slowly, imagining you're sharing this moment with someone close to you. Storytelling also helps you practice verb tenses naturally. You don't have to think about grammar rules when you're telling something real. Your mind picks the patterns automatically. For example, when you say, "I woke up early, then I went to the gym, and later I met my friend," you're already practicing past tense fluently. Try creating your own short story about yesterday. It can be about your morning, your evening, or something funny that happened. Speak it aloud, even if no one is listening. Your voice is your best teacher. Now, let's talk about confidence in conversations. Many learners know word as but freeze when it's time to speak. The fear usually comes from overthinking, from worrying about mistakes or forgetting a word. But here's the truth. No one expects you to be perfect. Most native speakers love it when someone tries to speak their language. If you forget a word, just describe it. For example, if you can't remember the word umbrella, you can say, "the thing you use when it rains." That's communication, and that's what fluency really means. Here's something powerful you can do to grow faster. Every time you learn a new phrase, don't just repeat it. Imagine using it. Picture a real scene where you would say that phrase. For example, if you learn, "Could you give me a hand?" Imagine yourself asking a coworker for help carrying something heavy. Visualization makes learning stronger and more emotional, and emotion helps memory stick. Sometimes, you'll meet people who speak very fast. Instead of panicking, train yourself to focus on the main ideas, not every word. When someone talks quickly, your brain might miss details, but that's okay. Just listen for the key message. You can respond with phrases like, I see, or that makes sense, or if you didn't catch everything, say, sorry. Could you say that again a bit slower? Native speakers use repetition all the time, and it's completely normal to ask for it. Let's shift into another realistic setting, chatting with coworkers or classmates. Imagine you're taking a short break and someone asks, how's your day going? You smile and say, pretty good, just busy as always. They laugh and say, same here. You reply, can't wait for the weekend. That's it. 3 short lines that build connection. You don't need long speeches. You need real rhythm. Now say those sentences aloud with natural pauses and energy. Pretty good, just busy as always. Same here, can't wait for the weekend. Let's practice another topic. Talking about habits and routines. You can say, I usually start my day with a cup of tea, or I like to take a short walk after dinner. These habits show personality. You can also talk about things you want to change. I'm trying to exercise more, or I'm learning to cook new recipes. Real conversation often includes these small personal updates. They make people curious and open more questions. Now, let's add an important skill, giving compliments and responding to them. Compliments make communication kind and warm. You can say, you look great today, or I love your accent, or that's a nice idea. When someone compliments you, you can reply with, thank you, that's very kind of you, or simply, thanks, I appreciate it. Practicing both giving and receiving compliments helps you sound confident and polite at the same time. Another everyday skill is offering help. When you notice someone struggling, you can say, do you need a hand? Or, can I help you with that? Or, would you like me to explain it? Offering help creates connection, and it's an excellent opportunity to use polite English. If someone helps you, respond with, thank you so much, or, that was really helpful. These phrases show gratitude and make your English warmer. Let's take a quiet moment to practice relaxed pronunciation. Sometimes learners try to pronounce every word perfectly, but natural English connects words together. For example, instead of saying, how are you, native speakers say, how are you, or how ya. It's softer, smoother, and faster. Try it now. How are you? How are you? How ya? Don't worry about sounding exactly like a native speaker. Focus on smoothness, not speed. Now imagine a friendly scene at a park. You meet someone walking their dog and you say, that's a cute dog. What's its name? The person smiles and says, thank you, her name's Bella. You reply, she's adorable. Just like that. You've created a full mini conversation that could happen anywhere in the world. Simple, real, and meaningful. When you want to make your English sound more advanced, focus on linking ideas together. Instead of separate sentences, use small connectors like so, because, actually, or by the way. For example, I love traveling because it helps me learn about new cultures. Or, I'm tired, so I think I'll stay home tonight. Or, by the way, have you tried that new cafe downtown? These connectors make your speech sound fluent and continuous. Practice a few now. I love learning English because it helps me meet new people. I'm tired, so I'll relax tonight. By the way, have you seen that movie? Excellent. Feel how naturally the sentences join together. Now let's practice describing things. Another real skill you'll use often. Imagine someone asks you about your city. You can say, it's a busy city with lots of markets and restaurants. Or, It's peaceful and surrounded by mountains. You can describe your favorite place. I love the park near my house because it's quiet and full of trees. You can describe people too. She's very friendly and always smiling. Describing helps you use adjectives, words that bring pictures to life. Try a few slowly. My city is busy and colorful. My room is small but cozy. The weather is warm and sunny today. The restaurant was clean and beautiful. When you describe things, use your senses, what you see, hear, smell, or feel. For example, the air smelled fresh after the rain, or the music was soft and relaxing. Sensory language makes your English richer and helps listeners imagine what you describe. Let's move to another useful area, agreeing and disagreeing politely. In real life, we don't always share the same opinions, but how we respond matters. You can agree by saying, "That's true," "Exactly," or "I completely agree." You can disagree politely by saying, "I see what you mean, but I'm not sure I agree," or "That's an interesting point, but I have a different view." Try repeating after me slowly. "That's true." "Exactly." "I see what you mean, but I'm not sure I agree." These expressions keep conversations respectful and smooth. As you practice more, you'll notice that intonation, the rise and fall of your voice, gives meaning to your sentences. When you ask a question, your tone rises at the end. "Would you like some coffee?" When you make a statement, your tone falls. "I'd love some coffee." Practice noticing this music in English. Say both sentences out loud. Feel how your voice moves naturally up and down. That's how English sounds alive. Now take a gentle pause with me. Close your eyes for a moment and think about your journey so far. You've practiced greetings, emotions, questions, and daily habits. You've spoken about your feelings, your plans, and your surroundings. All of this is real English, the kind that helps you live and connect, not just study. Repeat these affirmations softly. "I am becoming more fluent every day. My English feels natural and easy. I can speak with confidence and calmness. I learn through practice and patience." Let those words settle in your mind. The more you believe them, the faster you'll grow. The secret to mastering real-life English conversations is consistency. It's not about studying long hours one day and forgetting everything the next. It's about showing up every day, speaking a little, listening a little, and using English in real situations whenever you can. Even 5 minutes a day can make a big difference if you do it mindfully. Let's imagine your daily routine again. You wake up, and before you touch your phone, you say to yourself in English, "Good morning. I feel fresh and ready to start my day." You stretch, go to the kitchen, and think, "What should I have for breakfast today?" Maybe you say out loud, "I think I'll make some toast and tea." You're not just talking to yourself, you're training your brain to think in English. Every small sentence builds a stronger habit. Later in the day, you might see something interesting and describe it. Maybe you're walking outside and notice a bird singing. You could say, "That sound is so peaceful," or "The weather feels so calm today." When you start describing what you see, your surroundings become your classroom. This is one of the most natural ways to become fluent, connecting English to real life. Now let's practice reacting to situations. In real life, You don't plan your words in advance. You respond naturally to what happens. For example, if someone offers you something, you might say, "Oh, that's kind of you, thank you." Or if someone shares good news, you might say, "Wow, congratulations." If someone tells you something sad, you could say, "I'm sorry to hear that." Practice these short, real reactions now. "Oh, that's kind of you, thank you." "Wow, congratulations. I'm sorry to hear that." "Great job. That's amazing." These are the small words that make your English sound real, not robotic. When you talk to others, focus not just on what to say, but also on how to listen. Listening is half of every good conversation. Good listeners pay attention, nod, smile, and respond naturally. When someone is speaking, show interest with small words like right, yeah, I see, or really. These short responses show engagement. And when it's your turn to speak, connect your ideas with theirs. This is how conversations flow smoothly in English. Let's explore sharing personal experiences, which is one of the best ways to sound fluent. Imagine you're talking about travel. You could say, "Last summer, I visited the mountains. The view was beautiful, and the weather was so fresh. I felt completely relaxed there." Or if you're talking about learning English, you could say, "When I first started learning, I was shy and afraid to speak. But after practicing daily, I started feeling more confident." Sharing experiences makes your conversations more natural because you speak from the heart. Now, let's practice giving reasons, a skill that takes your English from basic to fluent. You can connect your ideas using because, so, and that's why. For example, I like learning English because it helps me meet new people. Or, I always drink tea in the morning because it helps me feel calm. You can also say, I started exercising regularly, and that's why I feel healthier now. Repeat these examples slowly. I like learning English because it helps me meet new people. I drink tea in the morning because it helps me feel calm. That's why I feel healthier now. Every time you use reasons naturally, your English becomes more connected and intelligent. One common real-life moment we all face is making small decisions. You might say, "I think I'll stay home tonight," or "I guess I'll take the bus instead." You can also express uncertainty politely. "I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll decide later." These small phrases make your speech more flexible. They show that you can express your thoughts naturally, just like native speakers. Try saying them with me. "I think I'll stay home tonight." "I guess I'll take the bus instead." "I'm not sure yet. Maybe I'll decide later." Now let's move into expressing likes and dislikes. Another everyday conversation skill. You can say, "I really like spicy food," or "I don't like crowded places." To make it sound more natural, you can add emphasis. "I absolutely love watching movies," or "I really don't enjoy waking up early." Try a few slowly now. I really like spicy food. I absolutely love watching movies. I really don't enjoy waking up early. These patterns help you express your personality in English. If someone shares their preferences, you can respond easily. For example, if someone says, "I love traveling," you can reply, "Me too. I love discovering new places." If they say, "I don't like cold weather," you can respond, "Same here. I prefer warm days." This kind of mirroring creates natural connection. Let's imagine a friendly chat with a new acquaintance. They ask, "Do you like sports?" And you reply, "Yes, I enjoy swimming and jogging." Then they say, "That's great. I play football every weekend." You respond, "That sounds fun. Maybe I'll join you next time." This short exchange may sound simple, but it's fluent, friendly, and real. Now let's practice asking for opinions. In English, people love to share their thoughts, and asking about them keeps conversations flowing. You can say, "What do you think about this movie?" or "How do you feel about learning online?" You can also use softer forms like, "Do you agree with that?" or "Would you say that's true?" Practice a few now. What do you think about this movie? How do you feel about learning online? Do you agree with that? When you ask others for their opinions, you show respect and interest. Both are signs of confident English speakers. Let's go into another natural setting, talking about the future. You can use simple structures like "I'm going to," "I'll," and "I plan to." For example, "I'm going to start a new course next month," or "I'll visit my friend next weekend." You can also say, "I plan to improve my English speaking by practicing daily." Repeat these slowly. "I'm going to start a new course. So next month, I'll visit my friend next weekend. I plan to improve my English speaking by practicing daily." Now, think of your future goals in English learning. You might say, "I want to speak English fluently," or "I want to travel and use English confidently." Say it now, as if you really mean it. "I want to speak English fluently. I want to travel and use English confidently." The more you say your goals aloud, the closer they come to reality. Sometimes in real conversations, people use phrasal verbs, short verb combinations that sound very natural. For example, wake up, sit down, turn off, pick up, or look after. These are common in everyday speech. You can say, "I wake up early. Please turn off the lights." "I'll pick you up later." Or, "I look after my little sister." Practice these with me. "I wake up early every day. Please turn off the lights. I'll pick you up later. I look after my little sister." These phrases make your English sound alive and real. Now let's take a short, emotional reflection. Close your eyes for a moment and think about how far you've come. You started learning simple sentences, and now you can hold real conversations, share experiences, express opinions, and connect ideas. You're no longer just studying English. You're living it. Whenever you feel stuck, remember this: English is not just a language, it's a lifestyle. It's the way you express who you are to the world. Every word you say carries a piece of your personality. So don't be afraid to show your feelings, your curiosity, and your kindness through your words. Now, repeat these affirmations with me slowly and calmly. I am confident in my English conversations. I understand and express myself clearly. I speak English naturally and comfortably. I learn something new every single day. Feel these words as you say them. They remind you that fluency is already growing inside you. As you keep practicing real-life conversations, something beautiful begins to happen. English starts to feel L like a part of your daily rhythm, like a familiar song that plays in the background of your mind. You begin to think in English before speaking. You start to dream in English sometimes, and you feel the language flowing through you naturally. That's when you realize fluency isn't about memorization. It's about living the language every day. Let's dive deeper into real conversation rhythm. When people talk, they don't always use perfect sentences. They shorten, pause, and connect words naturally. For example, instead of saying, "Do you want to go out?" people often say, "Do you want to go out?" or even, "Want to go out?" When they say, "I am going to eat," it often becomes, "I'm gonna eat." These shortcuts aren't mistakes. They're part of real spoken English. Listening to and repeating these forms helps your speech sound more natural. Try saying them softly. Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? I am going to eat. I'm gonna eat. Now imagine you're with a friend planning something fun. You might say, "Hey, do you want to grab lunch later?" They answer, "Sure, sounds good. What time?" You reply, "Maybe around 1." They say, "Perfect. See you then." This simple exchange shows the essence of natural English. Short, friendly, rhythmic, no fancy grammar, just real connection. Practice speaking such exchanges aloud. Let them flow easily from your tongue. Real-life fluency also means knowing how to handle unexpected moments. Maybe someone asks you a question and you're not sure how to answer. Instead of freezing, use soft fillers. You can say, let me think," or "That's a good question," or "I'm not sure, but maybe." These little phrases give your mind time to form a response and make your speech sound thoughtful, not hesitant. Practice them with me now. Let me think. That's a good question. I'm not sure, but maybe. Let's practice talking about the past, because daily conversations often involve stories and memories. You can say, "When I was a child, I loved playing outside," or "Last year, I started learning English seriously." You can also share small experiences like, "Yesterday, I watched a movie and it made me laugh so much." Try saying these softly, picturing the memory as you speak. When you talk about the past, try to feel it. Your emotion makes the sentence sound more real. Sometimes you'll want to describe a series of actions. You can say, "I woke up, took a shower, had breakfast, and left for work." You can also describe emotions with your story. "I felt nervous before the meeting, but afterward, I felt proud." When you speak about real experiences, don't rush. Pause and feel the rhythm of your sentences. Every pause adds clarity and confidence. Now let's talk about connecting with people emotionally in conversations. English isn't just about words, it's about how those words make others feel. When someone shares something happy, celebrate with them. Say things like, "That's wonderful," or "I'm so happy for you." When someone shares something sad, show empathy. Say, "That must be hard," or "I understand how you feel." The ability to show emotion through language is what separates a fluent speaker from a memorized one. Let's imagine a short emotional exchange. A friend says they got a new job, and you smile and say, "Wow, that's amazing! Congratulations!" They reply, "Thank you. I was really nervous about the interview." You respond warmly, "I can imagine. I'm so proud of you." Simple words, full of emotion. This is real English. It's alive, gentle, and human. Now let's move to making suggestions, something you'll often do in real life. You can say, "Why don't we go for a walk?" Or, "How about meeting tomorrow?" Or, "Let's watch a movie together." These are friendly, natural ways to make plans. You can also respond to suggestions with, "Sure, that sounds great," or "Maybe another time." Practice these softly. Why don't we go for a walk? How about meeting tomorrow? Sure, that sounds great. Maybe another time. Sometimes conversations involve giving advice, another essential skill. You might say, "You should take a break," or "Maybe you could try studying in the morning." To make advice sound polite, use softeners like maybe or you could. Instead of "do this," you say, "Maybe you could try this." That's how native speakers keep their tone gentle and supportive. Practice these now. You should take a break. Maybe you could try studying in the morning. I think it might help if you relax for a while. Now let's add a beautiful skill. Encouragement. Real-life English isn't only about information. It's about emotion and motivation. Imagine a friend feeling discouraged about learning English. You can say, "Don't worry, you're doing great." Or, "Everyone makes mistakes at first." Or, "You'll get better with practice." Try repeating these slowly. "Don't worry, you're doing great." "Everyone makes mistakes at first." "You'll get better with practice." Encouragement brings kindness into communication, and that kindness also helps you connect deeply with others. Let's step into another useful context. Talking about time. You might say, "I wake up early every day," or "I'll call you later," or "It's been a long time since we met." You can also express time naturally with words like recently, lately, soon, and for a while. Try these softly. "I've been busy lately." "I'll see you soon." "It's been a while since we talked." These expressions appear in daily English constantly and make your speech sound genuine. Now let's talk about apologizing and responding to apologies, because this is something we all need in real life. You can say, "I'm sorry I'm late," or "Sorry for the confusion," or "I didn't mean to upset you." When someone apologizes, you can reply kindly, "That's okay," or "Don't worry about it," or "It happens." Practice these softly now. "I'm sorry I'm late." "Sorry for the confusion." "That's okay, don't worry. It happens." Politeness builds trust in every conversation. Sometimes we need to end conversations naturally. Instead of suddenly walking away, you can say, "It was nice talking to you," or "I should get going now, but let's talk again soon." These phrases make your exits friendly and smooth. Try them. "It was nice talking to you. I should get going now, but let's talk again soon. See you later. Take care." Ending gracefully is as important as beginning confidently. Now let's imagine a daily scenario at work or school. You're in the hallway and someone asks, "How's everything going?" You smile and say, "Pretty good, just finishing up some work." They respond, "Nice, keep it up." You say, "Thanks, see you later." These simple moments happen every day, and when you handle them naturally, your English becomes effortless. Let's add another layer. Talking about progress and goals. You can say, "I'm improving slowly," or "I'm working on my pronunciation," or "I've started practicing English every evening." These show dedication and self-awareness. Try them with me. "I'm improving slowly but surely." "I'm working on my pronunciation." I've started practicing English every evening. Saying these aloud reminds you that learning is a journey, not a race. Now, take a quiet moment, breathe deeply, and remind yourself that you are doing something powerful. You're not only learning words, you're building confidence, courage, and communication. Every practice session, every repeated phrase, every moment you speak out loud is transforming you into a fluent speaker. Whenever you doubt yourself, think about this. Every native speaker once learned their first words too. No one is born fluent. Everyone learns, step by step, word by word, just like you. So be patient with yourself. Every time you speak English, even if it's not perfect, you're one step closer to mastery. Repeat these affirmations slowly, feeling every word as truth. I am confident when I speak. I communicate clearly and calmly. My English sounds natural and fluent. I am proud of my progress every day. I believe in myself. As you keep growing in your English journey, you'll notice that fluency isn't about speaking quickly. It's about speaking comfortably. The best English speakers don't rush. They breathe between their words. They express emotion, and they take time to think. When you speak slowly and clearly, you give yourself space to sound natural. Confidence isn't fast. Confidence is calm. Think about your favorite speakers or actors in English. They don't speak in a hurry. They use pauses. They use tone. And they connect emotionally. You can do the same. Every time you practice, pay attention not just to what you say, but how you say it. The energy behind your words is what people remember. Let's practice this together. Say these short lines slowly and clearly, with gentle rhythm. I'm happy to see you. That sounds amazing. I completely understand. Take your time. Don't worry, it's okay. Feel how soft and natural those words sound when you let your voice flow instead of forcing it. Now imagine yourself in a friendly conversation. Someone tells you about a problem they're facing. Maybe they say, I've been really busy and stressed lately. You could respond with warmth and understanding. You might say, I get that. Life can be overwhelming sometimes. Or, I know how you feel. It's been the same for me lately. When you respond with empathy, your words create comfort. Fluency is not just about grammar, it's about connection. Let's practice a few real emotional lines together. I know how that feels. That must be hard for you. I completely understand. I'm here for you if you need someone to talk to. These are sentences that bring people closer, and when you use them naturally, your English begins to feel alive with emotion and kindness. Real-life English is also about flexibility, sometimes formal, sometimes casual. The way you speak to your friend is different from how you speak in a meeting. For example, with a friend you might say, "Hey, what's up?" or "How's it going?" But in a formal setting, you might say, "Good morning, how are you today?" or "It's nice to see you." Both are correct. It depends on the situation. Practicing both tones helps you adapt easily. Let's go through some examples softly. For casual situations, "Hey, how's it going? Long time no see? What have you been up to?" And for formal ones, "Good afternoon, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for your time." Learning to adjust your tone shows emotional intelligence and confidence. Another way to sound natural in English is to use softening phrases. These make your speech polite and friendly. Instead of saying, "Give me that," you can say, "Could you please give me that?" Instead of, "I want this," say, "I'd like this, please." Instead of, "Tell me the time," say, "Could you tell me what time it is?" Try these now. Could you please give me that? I'd like this, please. Could you tell me what time it is? Soft, respectful language is powerful. It leaves a beautiful impression. Now imagine you're traveling and need help. You could say, "Excuse me, could you help me find the train station?" The person points the way and you smile and say, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." See how polite and natural that sounds? That's exactly what makes your English feel real and confident. Let's move on to another important skill, describing problems. Sometimes things go wrong and you need to explain what's happening. You can say, "My phone isn't working properly," or "I think there's a mistake on this bill," or "I'm having trouble connecting to the internet." Practice these softly now. "My phone isn't working properly. I think there's a mistake on this bill. I'm having trouble connecting to the internet." These sentences help you handle daily situations smoothly without stress. When someone helps you, it's important to show gratitude. You can say, "That was very kind of you," or "I really appreciate your help," or "Thank you for taking the time to explain." Gratitude creates positive energy in every interaction. Try them with me. "That was very kind of you. I really appreciate your help." Thank you for taking the time to explain. The more warmth you put in your tone, the stronger your connection becomes. Now let's focus on making conversations longer, a key skill for fluency. Instead of stopping after one answer, try adding more detail. For example, if someone asks, "How was your weekend?" instead of saying, "It was good," you could say, "It was good. I went for a walk in the park, and then I watched a movie at home." This turns a one-line reply into a full conversation. You can also ask a question back. "How about you?" This keeps the talk flowing naturally. Let's practice this idea. I'll say a simple line and you expand it in your mind. For example, instead of "I'm fine," you can say, "I'm fine, just a little tired from work." Instead of "I like music," you can say, "I like music, especially soft rock and jazz." See how small additions make your English sound fuller and more engaging. Now let's imagine a conversation about hobbies. You say, "I love cooking." Someone asks, "Really? What do you like to cook?" You reply, "Mostly simple dishes like pasta and rice bowls. Cooking helps me relax." In this short exchange, you've expressed interest, emotion, and detail. That's what makes you sound fluent and natural. Not speed, but clarity and connection. Let's explore expressing agreement and enthusiasm. When you agree with someone, you can say, "Exactly," or "That's so true," or "I feel the same way." When you're excited, you can say, "That's awesome," or "I love that idea," or "That sounds great." Practice these now. "Exactly. That's so true. I feel the same way. That's awesome. I love that idea." These small responses show energy and confidence during conversations. Sometimes you'll also need to change topics naturally. You can do this with phrases like, "By the way," or "Speaking of that," or "That reminds me." For example, "By the way, did you hear about the new cafe?" Or, "That reminds me, I need to call my friend." Try them softly. "By the way, speaking of that, that reminds me." These connectors make your speech flow like a river. smooth, and natural. When you talk about the present moment, you can use phrases like, "Right now, I'm focusing on improving my English," or, "These days, I'm trying to stay more positive." Talking about what's happening in your life makes your English real and relatable. Practice a few with me. Right now, I'm focusing on improving my English. These days, I'm trying to stay more positive. I'm learning to be more patient with myself. Now, let's reflect for a moment on your progress. You've learned to greet, to express emotion, to ask questions politely, to react naturally, and to describe moments from your life. These are all pieces of the puzzle that make up fluency. Every time you repeat and use them, you're moving closer to the level where English feels like your second nature. Remember, progress doesn't always feel visible day by day, but it's happening underneath. Just like a tree grows roots before you see new leaves, your English is growing stronger with every word you speak. Don't measure your fluency by how many words you know. Measure it by how freely you can express yourself. Let's close this section with a few gentle affirmations together. I am becoming fluent in English step by step. I communicate with confidence and peace. Every mistake helps me learn and grow. I enjoy speaking English every day. Feel those words settle into your heart. Fluency is not a finish line. It's a flow. You are already walking in it beautifully. One of the most powerful things you can do to become fluent is to stop chasing perfection and start chasing connection. Every time you focus too much on being perfect, you create pressure. But when you focus on simply expressing yourself, the words flow naturally. English is not about perfection. It's about expression. It's about showing who you are, sharing what you feel, and understanding others with empathy. Let's imagine a conversation where you're expressing your opinion. You might say, "I think learning through real conversations is the best method." Someone else says, "I agree, it feels more natural." You smile and respond, "Exactly, it helps me remember phrases better." Do you see how soft and flowing that exchange feels? When your thoughts come from your heart, your English sounds alive and confident. Now let's talk about one of the most common things people do every day: asking for and giving information. You can say, "Do you know what time the meeting starts?" Or, "Could you tell me where the post office is?" Or, "Do you have any idea when the train arrives?" To give information, you can say, "It starts at 9, or "It's just around the corner," or "I think it arrives in 10 minutes. These simple question and answer patterns happen thousands of times in real life. Master them slowly, and your fluency will grow naturally. You can also practice giving directions in English. Imagine you're helping someone find a place. You could say, "Go straight ahead, then turn left at the traffic lights." Or, "It's next to the supermarket, across from the park." These phrases are used every day in English-speaking countries, and learning them helps you survive and connect in real-world settings. Repeat them softly now. Go straight ahead, then turn left at the traffic lights. It's next to the supermarket, across from the park. Let's move to daily problem-solving conversations. Life is full of small moments where you need to explain something. Maybe your internet isn't working. You can say, "My connection seems to be slow," or "I can't access the website." If you're at a restaurant and your order hasn't arrived, you can say, "Excuse me, I think my order hasn't come yet." Or if you're in a shop and something's missing, You can say, "Sorry, I think you forgot to include this item." Simple, clear sentences solve problems politely and keep communication smooth. Now, think about another real moment. When you need to make plans with someone, you can say, "Are you free tomorrow?" Or, "Let's meet for lunch this weekend." You can also suggest, "Maybe we can watch a movie together." When the other person agrees, you might say, "Perfect, see you then." These everyday planning conversations make English a part of your social life. Try saying them softly. "Are you free tomorrow? Let's meet for lunch this weekend." Perfect. See you then. Now, let's explore talking about your goals and dreams. Because sharing your hopes is one of the most powerful ways to build connection in English. You can say, "My dream is to travel the world," or "I want to speak English fluently so I can work internationally," or "I hope to study abroad one day." When you talk about your dreams, your words carry emotion, and emotion makes learning stick. Try these now. My dream is to travel the world. I want to speak English fluently so I can work internationally. I hope to study abroad one day. Fluency grows fastest when your heart is involved. When you feel something deeply, your brain remembers it. So don't just study grammar. Talk about what matters to you. Talk about your goals, your struggles, your wins, your memories. Real English grows from real emotion. Now, let's practice how to respond naturally in conversations. When someone says something to you, don't just answer, react. For example, if someone says, "I passed my exam," you can reply, "That's great, I'm so happy for you." If someone says, "I'm not feeling well," you might respond, "Oh no, I hope you feel better soon." If someone says, "It's raining again," you can laugh and say, "Yeah, this weather never stops." These reactions make your English sound alive, full of feeling and rhythm. When you speak English in real life, it's okay to pause. Many learners worry that silence means they're not fluent, but silence is normal. Every fluent speaker pauses to think. The secret is to pause naturally, not with panic, but with peace. If you forget a word, take a breath and use another one. If you don't know how to continue, say something simple like, "Let me think," or "That's interesting." Fluency isn't about never stopping, it's about continuing gracefully. Now let's focus on building longer sentences naturally. Start small and then expand. For example, begin with, "I like coffee." Then add more. "I like coffee because it helps me stay awake in the morning." Add even more. "I like coffee because it helps me stay awake in the morning, especially when I have a lot of work to do." Step by step, you're stretching your sentences while staying natural. Try a few with me now. "I like coffee." "I like coffee because it helps me stay awake." "I like coffee because it helps me stay awake." Here's another example. "I enjoy learning English." Add more. "I enjoy learning English because it connects me to people all around the world." Expand further. "I enjoy learning English because it connects me to people all around the world and helps me understand different cultures." This gradual expansion builds your speaking muscles. You don't need complex grammar. You just need to connect ideas slowly and confidently. Now let's explore expressing feelings through tone. The same words can sound different depending on how you say them. For example, say softly, "I'm fine." Now say it with a smile, "I'm fine." And then with tiredness, "I'm fine." The words didn't change, but the feeling did. Practicing tone helps you communicate emotion even before you finish your sentence. Let's add another realistic situation. Giving compliments in daily life. You can say, "That's a nice shirt," or "You did a great job," or "I really like your accent." Compliments make others feel good and help conversations feel lighter. You can also respond politely when someone compliments you by saying, "Thank you, that's so nice of you," or simply, "Thanks, I appreciate that." Now, let's focus on conversation repair, what to do when communication breaks down. Maybe you didn't hear clearly. You can say, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" Or, "I didn't catch that, can you say it again?" If you need clarification, you can ask, "What do you mean by that?" Or, "Could you explain that a little more?" Practicing these helps you stay calm in real situations. Fluency isn't about knowing everything. It's about staying in the conversation even when things go wrong. Another powerful practice is shadowing real voices. You can pick a short English clip, listen carefully, and repeat what you hear in real time. This trains your pronunciation, rhythm, and timing. It might feel hard at first, but after a few days, you'll start to match the natural flow of English speakers easily. Now let's shift to self-motivation, because keeping your energy alive is the secret to long-term progress. Every learner has slow days, but what matters is that you don't stop. Even when you feel tired, listen to one short dialogue, speak one paragraph, or repeat 5 phrases. Small steps create huge change over time. Let's take a short reflection. Pause together. Think about your first day learning English. Maybe you felt nervous or unsure. Now, think about where you are today. You understand full sentences. You can express yourself. And you're improving every single day. That's incredible progress. You're already living the dream that once felt far away. Repeat these affirmations slowly and calmly with me now. I am confident when I speak English. I learn from every mistake. I can communicate with anyone in the world. My English is improving every single day. Now smile and take a deep breath. You are becoming the fluent version of yourself you always imagined. Every word, every thought, every small effort is bringing you closer to your goal. Keep speaking, keep listening, keep believing, because you're doing beautifully. The more you practice real-life English, the more you realize that it's not just about words, it's about energy. Every conversation you have, every smile you share, every pause you take, they all carry meaning. English isn't just a set of sentences. It's a rhythm of communication that connects people from everywhere. When you speak with emotion, people listen. When you speak with patience, people understand. When you speak with confidence, people connect. So from now on, don't only think about vocabulary. Think about how your words make others feel. Let's imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. You shake hands and say, "Hi, nice to meet you." The person smiles and says, "Nice to meet you too." You could continue, "I've heard a lot about you," or "I'm glad we finally got to meet." Simple phrases like these turn a basic introduction into a friendly beginning. Now, think about following up in a conversation. After introductions, you can say, "So, how's your day going?" Or, "How do you usually spend your weekends?" Or, "I love your energy. You seem very positive." These lines keep the talk flowing. The more you ask and listen, the more comfortable you become. Let's practice a real flow together. You start with, "Hi, nice to meet you." The other person says, "Nice to meet you too." You continue, "How's your day been so far?" They answer, "Pretty good, just a bit busy." You reply, "I get that. It's been one of those weeks, right?" This short exchange already feels friendly and natural, just like real conversation. Now let's talk about handling nervous moments. Everyone feels nervous before speaking English, even advanced learners. But the secret is to use your nervousness as energy. When your heart beats faster, it means you care. And that's good. Take a slow breath, smile, and remind yourself that you don't need to be perfect to be understood. People will always appreciate your effort to communicate. If you ever feel stuck during a conversation, use bridging phrases to stay calm. You can say, "Well, that's a good question," or "Let me see how I can explain that," or "I'm not sure about that, but I can tell you what I think." These short bridges give you time to think and make you sound confident even when you pause. Let's explore describing your surroundings, which is a wonderful fluency exercise. Look around your room right now and say what you see. For example, "I'm sitting in a quiet room. The walls are light blue. There's a cup of tea on the table." Then describe what you hear. "I can hear some birds outside." This practice helps your mind link words to your environment. When you describe things regularly, your English becomes connected to reality instead of memory. You can also describe what you feel. For example, "I feel calm right now," or "I feel focused and ready to learn." These small emotional sentences train your brain to express feelings in English automatically. Try some softly now. "I feel relaxed right now." "I feel motivated to practice." "I feel thankful for today." Now let's move into talking about experiences, because that's how people connect in real life. You can say, "Last weekend I went to the beach," or "Yesterday I tried a new recipe," or "A few years ago I started learning guitar." Each experience tells a story, and stories are what make conversations memorable. When you share experiences, try adding feelings. You could say, "I went to the beach and it was so peaceful," or "I tried a new recipe and it turned out delicious," or "I started learning guitar and now it's one of my favorite hobbies." By including emotion, you make your English vivid and alive. Let's practice describing preferences in detail, because this helps you sound fluent and natural. Instead of saying, "I like music," expand it. Say, "I like music, especially when I'm working or relaxing." Instead of, "I like coffee," say, "I love the smell of coffee in the morning. It helps me wake up." The longer your sentences flow, the more naturally you express yourself. You can also talk about contrasts to make your English richer. You could say, "I love summer because of the sunshine, but I don't like the heat." Or, "I enjoy watching movies, but I don't like scary ones." Small contrasts make your conversation more interesting and realistic. Now imagine a typical conversation about your day. You could start with, "Today has been a good day." Then expand. "I finished my work early, went for a walk, and cooked dinner." You can add emotion. "I felt relaxed and happy." To make it even more engaging, ask the other person, "How was your day?" This is the natural rhythm of real communication, sharing and listening. Sometimes in conversations, people share stories about their families or friends. You can say, "My sister just started a new job," or "My parents love gardening." Sharing family stories helps you connect on a personal level. You can also ask gently, Do you have any siblings? Or, what does your family like to do together? Real conversations are built on curiosity and kindness. Now, let's practice expressing hope and positivity, because those are beautiful parts of everyday English. You can say, I hope you have a great day, or I hope everything goes well for you. When something good happens, you can say, I'm so happy for you, or that's wonderful news. These phrases carry warmth. Try repeating them softly. I hope you have a great day. I hope everything goes well for you. That's wonderful news. You can also practice expressing gratitude because it adds beauty to your communication. Say, thank you for being patient, or I really appreciate your help today, or it means a lot to me. Gratitude opens hearts. And fluent English isn't only about words, it's about hearts connecting. Now, let's talk about describing your routine more deeply. You can say, I usually wake up early because I like quiet mornings, or I go for a walk after lunch to clear my mind, or before sleeping, I listen to calm music. These little routines are perfect conversation material. They make your English sound personal and relatable. Try expanding them now. I usually wake up early because I like quiet mornings. I go for a walk after lunch to clear my mind. Before sleeping, I listen to calm music. See how peaceful that rhythm feels? That's how fluent English sounds. Gentle, connected, and real. Now, think about talking about achievements. You can say, I finally finished my project, or I learned a new skill, or I reached one of my goals. It's important to celebrate your small wins. They build your confidence and remind you that you're improving. You can also congratulate others. Say, that's amazing, congratulations, or I'm proud of you. Positive energy makes your English shine. When you feel tired or frustrated, remember that learning any language takes time. Even native speakers sometimes forget words or make mistakes. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to keep communicating. Each mistake is proof that you're trying, and every attempt is progress. Now, let's take a small emotional pause together. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine your fluent self, confident, relaxed, and expressive. Imagine yourself having a smooth conversation with someone, laughing easily, sharing your thoughts clearly. That version of you already exists inside. You're just bringing it to the surface day by day. Let's repeat these affirmations softly together now. I am growing more fluent with every word I speak. I use English confidently in real life. My thoughts flow easily in English. I speak with calmness, clarity, and joy. Feel the peace in your voice as you say them. This is what fluency sounds like: relaxed, confident, human. Every single day, with every single sentence, you're building it beautifully. Fluency in English is not something that appears overnight. It's something that grows quietly inside you, like a plant that needs care every day. You water it with practice, sunlight with motivation, and patience with time. You won't notice its growth each day. Your words are flowing, your confidence is stronger, and your thoughts are clearer in English. Let's talk about something very important: thinking in English. Most learners translate from their native language, and that's okay in the beginning. But to become fluent, you need to train your brain to skip that step. Start small. When you see a cup, don't think of the word in your language and then translate. just think cup. When you feel tired, think I'm tired directly in English. When you plan your day, think I need to call my friend. I have work later. I'll cook dinner tonight. The more you do this, the more English becomes your second nature. Here's a little exercise. Wherever you are right now, look around and describe what you see in English. There's a chair beside me. The window is open. I can see a tree outside. Do it slowly. Describe what you're wearing, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. This kind of practice might seem simple, but it's the heart of fluency, connecting English to your real world. Now let's explore talking about emotions in more depth, because emotions bring your English to life. If you're happy, you might say, I feel so good today. If you're sad, I'm feeling a bit low. If you're excited, I can't wait for tomorrow. If you're nervous, I'm a little anxious, but I'll be okay. Each emotion adds color to your speech. The more feelings you express, the more fluent you sound. Try these now. I feel so good today. I'm feeling a bit low. I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm a little anxious, but I'll be okay. You can also describe emotions with more detail. Instead of saying, I'm happy, you can say, I'm really happy because I got good news. Instead of, I'm sad, you can say, I'm a little sad because I miss my friends. These longer sentences help your emotions sound natural, not flat. Let's practice reacting to others' emotion. LE2, because this is how real conversations feel human. When someone shares joy, say, That's wonderful, or I'm so happy for you. When someone shares pain, say, I'm sorry to hear that, or that must be really difficult. These reactions make your communication warm and real. Sometimes you'll want to comfort someone. You can say, Don't worry, things will get better, or I believe in you, or maybe encourage them. You're stronger than you think. These sentences are not just words, they're feelings turned into sound. Fluency grows stronger when you connect emotionally through English. Let's move to talking about memories, because storytelling is a bridge between people. You can say, When I was a child, I used to play outside all day. Or, I remember the first time I saw the ocean. You can describe the memory's feeling. It was such a peaceful moment. Or, I felt so free. Try recalling one beautiful memory right now. Picture it in your mind. Then describe it slowly in English. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. When you tell stories, use time expressions like a few years ago, last month, or when I was younger. These help listeners follow your timeline. You can say, Last month, I went to a new restaurant, or a few years ago, I learned to ride a bike. Then add emotions. I was so nervous at first, but then I felt proud. The emotion makes your story unforgettable. Now let's talk about staying calm when speaking English, because sometimes fear can block fluency. When you feel nervous, your body tenses up, your breath gets short, and your thoughts stop flowing. To break that, take a deep breath before you speak. Tell yourself, I can do this. Smile. Even a small smile changes your voice tone and makes you sound confident. Try this short breathing and speaking exercise. Inhale slowly, and as you exhale, say softly, I can speak English clearly. Inhale again, And exhale, saying, I'm confident and calm. Feel the rhythm of your breathing and your words working together. This technique trains your mind and body to relax, which improves pronunciation and fluency naturally. Now let's explore building natural rhythm in speech. English has a wave-like rhythm. Some words are stressed, others are soft. Listen to this pattern. I want to go home. The stress falls on want and home. Try saying it now. Feel the beat. English is full of this gentle music. When you learn to feel it, your speaking sounds smooth and natural. Another important step is listening with intention. Don't just hear English. Notice how people use it. Listen to how they pause, how they emphasize words, how they react. You can learn a lot just by paying attention. Watch movies, podcasts, or even English interviews. Don't worry about understanding every word. Focus on rhythm, tone, and feeling. Let's also practice asking follow-up questions because they make your conversations deeper. When someone says, I went to the market, you can ask, oh, what did you buy? If someone says, I'm tired, you can ask, did you have a busy day? These small follow-ups show interest and keep the talk going. Try these slowly now. Oh, what did you buy? Did you have a busy day? That sounds interesting. Tell me more. Now think about talking about the future with positivity. You can say, next month I'm planning to travel, or I'll start a new project soon, or I'm looking forward to next weekend. Add emotion to it. I'm really excited about my trip, or I can't wait to see my friends again. These hopeful sentences make your English sound alive with energy. Let's practice using modals politely. These are words like could, would, might, and should. They make your English softer. For example, instead of help me, say, could you help me? Instead of close the door, say, would you mind closing the door? Instead of you need to try this, say, you should try this. It's great. Try them softly now. Could you help me? Would you mind closing the door? You should try this. It's great. Now imagine a real conversation at a restaurant. The waiter comes and asks, are you ready to order? You respond politely, yes, I'd like a salad, please. When they bring the food, you say, thank you, this looks delicious. When you finish, everything was perfect, thank you. Small moments like these are where English truly lives, in the kindness of daily exchanges. Let's also talk about handling mistakes gracefully. Sometimes you'll say something wrong, maybe the tense, maybe pronunciation. Don't apologize too much. Just correct yourself naturally and continue. For example, if you say, sorry, she goes to school. Smile and move on. The moment you treat mistakes as normal, your confidence multiplies. Now take a soft pause and think of how much you've practiced so far. You've learned to greet, express, describe, react, ask, and connect. You've built real-world English, the kind people actually use. That's true progress, and it's worth celebrating. Repeat these affirmations quietly with me. I think in English naturally. I stay calm when I speak. I learn from every experience. I connect with people confidently. I express myself clearly and kindly. You are doing something powerful. Turning English from a subject into a skill. From a skill into a part of your life. Every time you speak English, even if it's just a few words, you are rewriting the story of your confidence. You are proving to yourself that progress is not a distant dream, it's something you create, moment by moment. Fluency doesn't begin with perfect grammar or big vocabulary lists. It begins with courage, the courage to speak, to try, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. Think about how far you've come. You started with simple sentences, maybe feeling unsure about your pronunciation or sentence order. But now, you can start and continue conversations naturally. You can ask questions, share your thoughts, express emotions, tell stories, and connect with people in real situations. That is real fluency, not memorized, but lived. Now, let's talk about how to keep this momentum alive. After today's lesson, fluency needs movement. The more you use English, the more alive it becomes in you. Make English part of your day in small ways. When you wake up, think in English. When you cook, describe what you're doing. When you walk, talk to yourself quietly about what you see. These little daily habits feed your fluency, like gentle rain feeds the earth. You can also keep practicing with people, talk to friends online, join a language group, or find a speaking partner. Even short conversations help. You don't need to sound perfect, you just need to sound real. People connect to honesty, not perfection. So, if you forget a word, smile and keep going. Your effort will always speak louder than your mistakes. Sometimes, you'll have days when speaking English feels easy, and other days when you feel stuck. That's normal. Growth is not a straight line. On difficult days, remind yourself that every learner, even native speakers at some point, has felt the same. You're part of a global community of people learning, practicing, and improving together. You are not alone in this journey. When you listen to English, keep your heart open, not just your ears. Listen to how people laugh, how they pause, how they express kindness. Notice their tone more than their grammar. Try to copy the rhythm, the feeling, the melody of their speech. This is how you develop a natural accent, not by forcing it, but by feeling it. Now let's practice a small daily life visualization. Imagine you're traveling abroad. You walk into a cafe and the barista smiles. You say, "Good morning, could I have a cappuccino, please?" They reply, "Of course, anything else?" You answer, "No, that's all. Thank you so much." They hand you your coffee and you say, "Have a great day." That's it. A simple, fluent exchange, full of kindness and confidence. You can already do this. Fluency is freedom. It gives you the ability to express your ideas, to understand the world, to connect with new people, to work anywhere, to learn anything. It opens doors quietly, one word at a time, and the key to keeping that freedom alive is consistency. 5 minutes a day of speaking, listening, or reading English will grow faster than 5 hours once a month. Small, steady steps build permanent strength. Let's take a gentle look into the future together. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You're sitting with someone, speaking easily in English. You don't translate in your head anymore. Your words come naturally. You smile. You pause. You joke. You understand. You feel at home in the language. That moment is waiting for you, and you're already walking toward it. Now, let's bring everything we learned together in this journey. You've practiced greetings and introductions. You've learned to express emotions and opinions. You've built confidence through daily examples and practiced conversations that sound real. You've explored politeness, small talk, storytelling, advice, and encouragement. That's the true definition of communication. If you ever doubt yourself, remember this simple truth: every fluent speaker you admire was once a beginner. The difference between you and them is time, not talent. Keep showing up, keep practicing, and you will get there. Progress is built quietly in moments when no one is watching. When you whisper English sentences to yourself, when you repeat phrases before sleeping, when you listen carefully to understand instead of rushing to reply, those small, invisible moments are where fluency is born. Now let's take a final practice together. Repeat these sentences slowly, with feeling. They are your promises to yourself. I can speak English clearly and confidently. I am proud of my progress. Every day I learn something new. I use English naturally in real situations. I connect with others through kindness and understanding. I am not afraid to make mistakes, because mistakes help me grow. I enjoy this journey, and I trust the process. Take a deep breath after each line. Let your voice and your breath move together. Feel the calm confidence that comes when you know you're doing your best. That feeling, that quiet, steady energy, is fluency. Now let's imagine another real-life conversation, one that shows your growth. You meet someone new. You smile and say, "Hi, how are you?" They respond, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" You say, "I'm doing great, just enjoying the day." Then you ask, "So, what do you do?" They say, "I work as a designer." You reply, "That's interesting. I love creative work." You both laugh, and the conversation continues easily. You didn't plan it. You just spoke, naturally, freely, confidently. That is your new reality. To stay on this path, practice shadowing daily. Listen to English speakers and repeat their words immediately. This technique shapes your pronunciation, rhythm, and listening comprehension at the same time. Shadowing trains you, our mouth and brain, to move in harmony, making you sound smooth and natural without effort. Keep a small English journal too. Each night, write a few lines about your day. It could be as simple as, "Today I went for a walk. The weather was nice. I listened to an English song and understood more than yesterday." Writing is speaking with your hand. It helps you organize your thoughts and strengthens your memory. When you're tired, remind yourself of how far you've come. Learning a language is not just a skill, it's a transformation. You are teaching your brain a new rhythm, your tongue a new movement, your mind a new perspective. That's an incredible accomplishment. Now, repeat a few final affirmations softly with me. I am fluent, confident, and free in English. I enjoy learning because it brings me closer to the world. I express myself clearly and kindly. I trust my journey and my growth. Let these words echo in your mind for a moment. Smile. Take a deep breath. You've completed a full masterclass, not only in speaking English, but in believing in yourself. And before we finish, I want to thank you for staying with me until the end. Every second you've spent here has strengthened your fluency. You've practiced listening, thinking, and speaking naturally. You've trained your ear, your voice, and your heart. And you've proven something important, that you are capable of mastering this language. So from this moment, whenever you speak English, remember that your goal is not perfection, it's connection. Speak with heart, listen with care, and never stop exploring this beautiful language. Now take a slow, peaceful breath and repeat one last time. I can speak English freely. I can express myself clearly. I am confident. I am fluent. Thank you for learning with me today. Keep practicing every day. Keep believing in yourself, and I'll see you in the next lesson.